But I just wanted to touch on Brunelleschi because um, I don't know if you know, but Santa Maria del Fiore, for a while, I had no dome. It was like a problem that they were having, and they weren't able to solve the problem of how do you build a dome. And they didn't want to just build a regular roof. So it was kind of just like left undone for a long time. And then there was a competition. I think it was like in the 1300s. No one was able to solve it. I think even Leonardo da Vinci had an option on how to solve it. Brunelleschi, if I remember correctly, was a watchmaker and a craftsman. So, you know, this was the state that it was in. And then he was able to work on these like very fine tuned models and buttresses and trying to figure out how to solve the problem. And they solved it by creating two different shells. Like there's an outer shell and an inner shell. And you can actually go there today and you can actually walk in between, like the anti-space, if you will. So before you get to Rome, I think it's really important to understand Florence and this dome, because I think there's a lot of other stuff that happened that was really important, but just as a quick, like little, you know, conversation, like a quick little Cliff's Notes version of architecture. I think you really need this project in between before you get to Rome. Because all of these decisions that are being made are just like trying to solve problems. And even like today, you know, when a client calls me up and they have an issue, it's just coming up with a creative way to solve the problem. So this was like the big problem of the day, is how do you put a roof on this beautiful church? And Brunelleschi is able to do that. Just to give you a little bit of context, this is where the Pantheon is. And then across the river, you have Nero Circus. So what's cool is that, you know, before this whole development happened of the brand new St. Peter's, there's the old St. Peter's. I don't know if you know about old St. Peter's.
I do not know much.
Oh, you don't know? So there was an old St. Peter's there, believe it or not. So I kind of threw this up there just as like a quick, I don't want to use the word lesson, but just, you know, as we're having a discussion, just to have like a visual. So there was an old building there. And I was reading some things just this week about how like this like shingles were sliding off, and there was like rats in the rafters, and like this place like really needed like a major overhaul. So it's just a basic, you know, simple structure. A lot of the basilicas actually took from the pagans in terms of like their format. And then what they would do is they would basically turn them into crosses. So because this is like one of the earliest ones, I don't even think this is a cross. Let me see. I actually have a plan here.